Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim coming to you from my camp spot here in Cumming, Georgia. Cumming, Cumming, Georgia. And I'm camping out right now for some time, maybe the end of the month, unless I get bored and I'll go home. But big time changes are coming. The rain has started. I keep talking about the rain is coming. It has started. And we're just over a minute now. Maybe we're going to be good. I restarted my phone. But let's make some coffee. Got some stuff to share with you. Got some stuff to talk about. It's really cool, man, camping out, I'm telling you. Being retired and going around with this camper, like I was telling my daughter yesterday, it was really a blessing that trying to keep it on the rug there. It was a blessing that I didn't blow out of Bucket Mill on my very first stay when I had that beach spot that she gave me that she couldn't use because, she had other something come up that she had to go do. And so I took the spot. And that kind of kept me here grounded. I got it. I've had it for a couple of days. That made me, whoa, oh my gosh. I knew it was going to eventually happen when I do that. Water just went everywhere behind the, oh my gosh. Oh, my O2 sensor, carbon monoxide detector, and in this plug. Oh boy. Oh man. If it wasn't the phone stopping, then we got this issue. I'm all sidetracked now what I was talking about. I was worried about this thing shorting out in the plug. The water literally poured out of the back of the coffee maker back here. Always keep this annoying sounding thing. Save your life. All right, put it back. Begin again. It's like the third take on a video this morning. And now I just don't know if I have enough water in there for all the grounds I got, and I need to cut back on my caffeine. What the hell? Go for it. Work. All right. Hey, the rain stopped. It's coming though. What was I saying? Oh yeah. If it wasn't for the fact that I, grounded myself for a couple of days, stayed in the spot at Bucket Mill, and then talked to my daughter, and she said, "Why don't you go to Pigeon Forge?" And I'd been saying, I don't want to go to those places. I've been there a million times on my motorcycle. It's trees and beautiful and streams and stuff to do. And why would I do that when I could be driving every day 400 miles, 500 miles a day, 300 miles a day, whatever I can get under my belt, and just get out there to where there's nothing. No, there's a lot. I love the West. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it down. But I did it 3 times within a year. And I haven't been up here in a long time. And I certainly haven't seen my daughter in 2 years since I bought this camper when I was up here last. And I'm telling you right now, God is real. God knows my needs. This has been the best, absolutely the best time of my life in recent memory of everything, of anything I've done, bought, had, excited about. Nothing tops these last few weeks, month. I've been up here a month, and I'm not leaving right away yet. I gotta leave eventually. I have a place to live, and I can't keep paying for 2, but this is working out quite reasonable. So, due to a lot of people coming up here for the fall and the Apple Festival and the Fall Festival and the car shows and people from Atlanta and people local that want to camp out around the lake, like when I met Michelle and Stan and Bob and Kathy and others that are local that just come out and camp on Lake Lanier. And then the fact that this is the one of the few that accept the America the Beautiful card where you get half price, as you can imagine, there's a big demand. Tent campers are showing up because the kids are on a long break, the fall break. There's a holiday weekend or something going on. And you can tent camp now because the weather is cooler at night and it's not too hot. And so for all those reasons, for the entire month of October and first part of November, the last rush before it really gets cold up here, it's hard to get a campsite. So I had to pull a few musical chairs. That's why I moved from one to another. When I came back from Pigeon Forge, I had to move musical chairs in Pigeon Forge. Remember, I was there 3 days at one place and I found River Bend. River Bend. They hooked me up over there. That was good people. And then I was able to have my daughter help me out with the reservations, and through her experience and Eddie's experience of camping with their wolf pup around the campsites and the campgrounds around Lake Lanier, using the America Beautiful card, my value from like the first night when I stayed at Love's when I left Florida was $54. Then when I got to Pigeon Forge, it was $66 to $70 a night with the taxes and everything. And then I got River Bend. I won't disclose what that was. They hooked me up. I stayed there for a while, and I could have stayed there all the way through the end of October. You know, they got year-round people living up there too. It's a one owner. It's not a corporation. And very good people. I'll be visiting them again for sure. And then the America the Beautiful card that I got a couple of years ago, I've never used. Well, that's not true. I went out west at one time and I went to Arches and I was able to get in for free, which paid for the thing right there. Actually, it's $80 now for the senior card for lifetime. It used to be $20 or $30 for this America Beautiful card. $80 now. I think I bought it down in Florida, actually, when I was living in Boynton. Anyway, I haven't got much use out of it. And it's supposed to be good at all these national and state parks that, you know, that honor it. Coffee's about ready. And half off. And admission to like Arches and stuff. Canyonlands. All the big, you know, Grand Canyon, all that. So it's definitely worth having. So it's ended up being a real benefit at Bucket Mill. I can't stop calling it Bucket. It's Ducket. Ducket Mill. I called it Bucket Lake for a while. And what's this one called? Oh, gosh. Baldridge Creek. There's no creek around here. It's a lake. So my dollar cost average, my value, I was trying to say from Love's to the place that was expensive in Pigeon Forge to the good hookup I got at River Bend to half price here, my dollar cost average is working out. That's afforded me to stay longer and not having to buy fuel traveling across the United States of America at 9 miles per gallon and camping or staying in, boondocking places or truck stops or something like that I've done already, that everybody wants to see more of scenery and camping. And now I'm doing hiking. I'm seeing my daughter, my son-in-law, my grandson, her friends, and we're doing things together. We're cooking out. We're jet skiing. Oh my gosh, I've done so much in such a short period of time. It's like amazing. Get some coffee. So I got more to talk about. What a shocker. So, because of the big crowds coming up here, I'm moving my camper today. Not going to another campground. I'm not even going far. I'm going right over yonder. A couple spaces up. It's an elevated space that overlooks other spaces that are down here on this level I'm on. It is off the water. Hey, I want to be here. I'm going out doing other stuff. I'm in here. I can still see it. I just won't have this beach. But you know what, folks? And I hate to say anything negative because I'm in a good mood. But these acorns, that's what we call them here in the South, that are bombarding. I've got my truck parked at the very end of the driveway up here where there's open sky and there's no trees over it. I mean, those things, when they hit the roof, they sound like rocks. You know, and I don't know what it's doing up there. I can't help it. But it's annoying, and it has slowed up a little bit, but they still come down. And I don't want my truck hit. So it's kind of good that I'm going over there. It probably got trees too. I don't know. Probably more of them. What are you going to do? Let's check out the color. Oh, that's good and golden looking. That's beautiful. I will be going to Human Being this morning, and I'm going to ask them if they can whip me up. What? It better not be a bug. That better not be a bug. I don't even want to examine it that close. It's just one bug. It could be coffee grounds. I don't want to know. I need some coffee. And if I got my glasses, I could probably see it, but I don't want to know. Hey, I've been camping. That's what we used to always say when something's, you know, I've been camping. That's ice cold. What's going on here? I mixed it with the other coffee that was in the pot. That's what it was. 1 minute on that. All right. So I'm going to be moving. It's going to rain. The sun's coming out at 1, 2, or 3 o'clock, and it's out of here. And then behind it, we have a whole new climate of sunshine, much cooler air, day and night, much cooler. Accelerate the leaf and the fall changes. And if there's going to be any more changes in the color, it's going to happen, or the leaves are just going to fall off and it's going to be sticks. But I told you I'm going to get it beginning, middle, and end. I'll be here and I'll bring it to you. I promise. So, oh God. Crush it. These are the hard ones to crush. Thank you to all the subscribers who have paid such very kind compliments about my daughter. She is a beautiful soul, just like you guys out there. And thank you so much for that. It's so kind of you to take the time. And I tell her all the time about how much you guys love her. And she reads the comments. But also thank you to a subscriber this morning. Oh man, I was trying to memorize your username so I could actually give you credit right to your name. But I'm going to say he, could be a she because it's a username that doesn't have gender. Told me I've been doing the hiking, trekking poles wrong. You ever see these videos? You've been doing this wrong your whole life. They're pretty good on YouTube. Stuff that we've been doing wrong our whole lives that we've been, you know, thinking it was the right way. So I learned not only from what you mentioned about the trekking pole straps when I complained about the chafing of my hand, and my daughter got it too. I sent her a YouTube short showing the proper way. Your hand goes up through the strap from the bottom, not down through. I wasn't even using them. I'm like, what are these for? Like, in case I fall down, it doesn't fall off the cliff and lose it down the abyss? What are these straps? So I've got the strap and everything, hanging off the back of my hand. You put your hand up through and then your fingers over and grab the handle. And now when you take a step, and there's more, wait to this. You didn't even tell me about this part. When you take a walk, you're using your palm of your hand with those straps to literally support more than just holding the pole and using your wrist. Now this thing is flying around in here What are you doing? Get out of here. Get over to that light and get stuck to that tape. My bug light over there, which works excellent, by the way. A supporter gave me the money on buy me a coffee to go get that, and I did. It works good. I haven't had them, except this guy, but there's too many lights on here. That only works when you go to bed and it's the only light and the bug goes to it. But some little one thing, he's been following me around all morning. Folks, that's the best cup of coffee I've ever drank in my life. Man, that's good coffee. McCaffey, baby, with the heavy whipping cream. Now, what was we saying? Before I was rudely interrupted by that bug. It's slurpable, baby. Trekking poles. So your hands go up and that, and you're using here and not your wrist, and you can literally let your handles, and it's not going to chafe and all of that. But check this out. 90 degrees on flat. Climbing the trails like I do, shorter. Going down the trail when you turn around, come down, longer. And most importantly, that I've been doing totally wrong, I hope you knew about this too, the pole goes in front of the opposite leg. I'm walking with the pole with this leg, the pole with this leg. No, you take your pole, your left hand, you put it out, and you step out with your right foot. And it should be at the heel, at the end of your foot. When it said the end, I'm assuming the heel. But then again, 1 and 5, good and bad, I get confused on that, as you know. But you use it with the opposite foot, and there are different heights. That's why there's measurements on there. And I guess you can memorize which ones you have for going up or down or flat. Also, remove those rubber caps off the end of those trekking poles. Those are only for asphalt and pavement. Otherwise, there's a spike underneath there, and that's what you use on loose gravel or like these trails I'm walking and rock. That way it won't slide like a little rubber slick bottom, bottom of a cane that people use. So now I know how to walk opposite, the lengths, up and down and flat, and how to put my hand in there so they won't be fatigued, and I'll be using my palm to support. And you'll never want to walk without trekking poles again. And I'm going to insist that my daughter must use Eddie's, because I'm not going to give up one of my poles anymore and walk with one like I've done on the majority of my hikes, except one. I did use 2, but I was doing it all wrong. So I still haven't used them correctly. I'm going to use them the next time. I can't wait for my next hike. So again, just like so many of you have contributed to helping me with cooking and recipes, and the ladies, the gentlemen, all of you out there with your experiences that have shared with me, that take the time to share with me to help me out, whether it's be medical, my eyes, just different things, how to do certain things with the RV, about my truck. I've just received, hey, two minds are better than one. And another thing, just one guy I watched on a short this morning about the trekking poles, really was really cool. Kind of gave me an epiphany. When he talked about walking with them with the opposite foot, he goes, now you're trekking faster and stronger, and you're like a 4-legged animal. 4-legged's better than 2 legs. And when he said that, I thought, yeah, you're actually adding to your, that's what they're built for. They work. They're not looks. They're not to make people think you're a nerd. You're the smart one. Get you some trekking poles. All right. So that's what I really wanted to share, that I gleaned from a YouTube video, but I would have never have known had it not been for this subscriber saying, and Bella chimed in too, saying it's like you don't even know they're there. But the person that told me about them, I want to thank you again. Man, that's good coffee. So I bought some of that RV slide lube that I bought it home and I left the can there. But what I did was, the slide's been out for a year. And I started thinking, and somebody told me, hey, you better remove those slides, better put a jack on them, better do this, better do that. I didn't put jacks on them, but I did go buy that lube because I went through a lot of rain and hurricanes down there, and they've been sitting out, and the moisture and the rust, and I don't want those to. And so I lubed them. But on the bottom of the slide, it's like a bar, and there's like teeth on the bottom. I lubed the teeth. It's actually the flat, like it's about that wide, and the teeth are down here. This is the part that you lube, this flat surface on both sides. So I went and bought some, and since I've been running them in and out, moving a few times in this trip of mine, she's a good girl. I mean, I'm telling you, these things come in, they're coming in smooth. There's no more of a little bit of a honing sound, which was metal to metal, I think. Which is, straining the motor, and it's not good. They need to be lubed, baby. I'll be doing my bearings on my wheels when I get home. They probably still don't even need it, but I'm going to go ahead and take care of that before she travels again. Because keeping that lubed and the axles, the wheel bearings, and the tires good and properly inflated, as long as they'll go in and out, and as long as my tires are inflated and good tread on them and the bearings are good, I can drag it. I don't have to worry about, it being, I see him. I see him. Oh, you're mine. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got him. You're good to go. When you get these Class A's and Class C's, and there's so many more moving parts, you got an engine and transmission and motor oil, more maintenance, and all of that stuff. All I got to do is make sure that I got good tires and bearings, and I can drag it. And then I can just disconnect and run my cement truck around to the places I need to go. So this morning, I was realizing again, I said, you know what, Tim, do a video on what you've learned over the last 2 years being a full-time RVer and how to pick a right one. Now, you might not agree with this, but I'm going to say it. One of the first things you should do if you want to pick out a camper, and I've named about having the high roof. Some of them you go in, you feel like the roof's down on you. They feel small, they're cheap, they're junk. Staples and screws. I say this, if you stick your head in a camper, any of them, trailers, towables, and you see a bed, run. You don't want to see a bed. No, I'm just kidding on that, because these models, you hear that rain? These models are made in smaller versions that are super sweet. And they have the bed, Murphy bed or a bed. Hear that? The rain is knocking off the acorns, the rocks. I got to get out of here, man. I'm hooking it up early this morning. Flagstaff has got several models that you can see the bed. But for me, I still don't think there's a better floor plan. I don't see my bed right now. Look, you see a bed? Oh, sorry about that. I was thinking this morning when I was showering of what I would talk about in the video about a camper. And I don't want an apartment. I can't afford a house. And this is my home. And everywhere I go, I have it. Well, I hope those acorns don't just start pulmoning. Coming down like crazy. This is it for me. This is a perfect shoe that fits. Damn an apartment. In a condo, in a house, or a tiny home, or anything like that, I can't afford. I don't want to afford if I could afford. I don't want to be stuck. This is great. And this is high quality. And anything that might come out of adjustment or needs a replacement, I believe I can do it for a heck of a lot less than the HOAs and maintenances and insurances and all this that goes along with brick and mortar or sticks and bricks. So I've really come to feel that in today's economy and the inflation and being on Social Security, limited income, that this affords me to be able to do what I'm doing right now. If I had an apartment for $1,800 to $2,000 a month with utilities, I wouldn't be able to be out here doing this. What would I stay in? A hotel? A tent? No. This is the life. And so many people have them, and they just use them a couple times a year or a few times a year. But living in one, and when you're by yourself and you got a floor plan like this, I mean, look, TV, recliners, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, closets, mirrors, extension walls, and go out, convertible, baby. Look at these colors. Look at these light. Look at this. This is beautiful, man. Matches my shirt. Fireplace. Come on. Microwave. Look at this big old beautiful refrigerator. And that's right. Reflective. You don't get one of those everywhere. So I'm really stoked about my life and the fact that everywhere I go with my daughter and banging around by myself up here in Pigeon Forge and north of Atlanta and Cumming and Gainesville, I come home every day. I'm like coming home. This is my home. And everything is with me. I didn't have to pack up everything. I don't have to pack up everything to go home. It's already in here. Sure, I bring the slides in and batten down the hatches a little and do a few preparations to travel on the highway. But that's a heck of a lot less time and energy, and I don't have to worry about forgetting anything. You know, I got it all. It's all here. Paperwork, whatever. Love it. And I do love the fact that I have the place in Florida that's very reasonable, that I can stay at year-round. I have that wonderful storage shed. It's brand new, that I can put a ton. I'm not even close to even denting the amount of space I have in there of stuff that I could buy or put in there, store. And so it's really great. And the procurement of the Gold Wing, don't even get me started on that bragging. I'm just so excited about it. I haven't stopped watching YouTube videos still on Gold Wings. From reviews to accessories, the DCT transmission, the manual transmission, was that the right one to buy, and everything else. And I'm literally floating on air about the deal I got and the person I bought it from. He's like me. He might even be, he's got more money than me, so that's for sure. I probably wouldn't have spent what he did on that bike. $2,000 for a seat. So he's got it all set up for me, and he sold it for what he thought was fair, and I paid him for what I thought was fair, and I think it's more than fair. And now I'm just trying to, get that warranty thing worked out, which I think is going to happen. I'm leaning a lot more towards it will be transferred to me than without, and that means, and guess what? That thing doesn't even start, that extended warranty that the original guy bought. He's the one that bought it with the roadside assistance, towing, gas, all that stuff. It doesn't even begin until November 3rd, when the factory warranty, which is still on it, expires. And then it extends that same warranty level, except audio. Audio drops off. Maintenance was never included, but it's just a continuation. No deductible, no mileage limit. It's 5 years of, if it breaks, they fix it. So my warranty's up on my camper, but I didn't buy any kind of extended thing because I would rather have someone come out and pay whatever I got to pay to fix something than to have to take it somewhere and leave it for who knows how long. And I live in it. That's a problem. Unfortunately, if you got an RV, first thing you need to buy is that water pressure regulator like I did. But mine was defective. That was definitely the issue. I do not have a water leak anymore. And I wouldn't want to change the clamp or change anything on that, because the only reason it was leaking is because there was so much pressure coming in from the outside, not being regulated, that it was finding its own weakest link. And thank God it wasn't under here where I can't see or didn't know, or somewhere else where water was all in the bottom of this camper just rotting it out or whatever it would do. Wait. So I thank the Lord for that one, boy. Make sure, and just, you know what, it's easy to tell now. I didn't realize, I'm just ignorant, I guess, but you turn the spigot on, and if that water's coming out pretty darn hard, or you take a shower and it's peeling your skin off, you know you're not being regulated with your water pressure. Now I go to flush the toilet, I got to put my foot down that pedal for an extra few seconds for the water to put a little bit of water back in the bowl, because the water is coming out at a slower rate, at a good rate. And it also doesn't fill my tanks up so fast. So it's all good. Everything's been good, folks. Can't get any better than this. Break out the old Milwaukee. And so, I guess the only thing that's good and bad that I can also mention, I'm bouncing around here a little bit. That's the way I roll. That's the best cup of coffee I've ever drank in my life. Man, that's good coffee. I went bad. I went bad on my diet. Okay, I 4 months, proud of myself, nothing but meat, butter, and eggs. No cheating. Started drinking some diet sodas at the end there. I started on those non-alcoholic beers. And then I come up here, and it's, Mexican food, and Mexican food, and Mexican food. I had it 3 times. I don't even want it again. I had it at my daughter's Baker Tacos. I made it here. I had it for breakfast. And last night, I took us to dinner at one of my favorite Mexican restaurants that I've been wanting to go since I got here, and to get carnitas, not tacos. That's my all-time favorite entree is carnitas. Carnitas with the corn tortillas. You get a little salad, beans and rice, non-alcoholic beer, wash it down, chips and salsa. Come on. I'm on vacation. I could die tomorrow. But I started feeling bad. Not physically so much, but in here, kind of guilty. I know what it will do to you eventually. I saw a video of me about a year ago. How embarrassing. How I let myself get like that. I have a video of me jumping in a swimming pool somebody took in slow motion, which really drags it out. And I'm running to the pool, right? And I look like a house. Oh, I got no shirt on. I got some board shorts on that, the Michelin spares hanging over, and I'm gelling as I'm going, and all the water come out of the pool because I'm so big. A little exaggeration, but not. And I cannot believe, I didn't look in the mirror every day. I did, but I didn't do anything about it. I didn't care. What happens to us? Why is America obese? Why is America overweight? Our entire society is overweight. 9.9% of the people are fat. I'm sorry. I was one of them. I'm still not where I need to be. But I'm way better than I was, and I don't ever want to go there again. So I'm getting back on my carnivore. I felt fine on it. I don't care what people say about you need your vegetables and fruits and all these things that just cause your insulin to stay up, and you're not losing. Now, I did look at myself in the mirror not too far back, a week or so ago, and it looked like I was a little frail and thin. And then when I said that to somebody, they go, "You're not frail. You don't look thin." You're still fat. Oh, okay, excuse me. So, one man's opinion. But I digress. I will get back on my healthy diet for living long, feeling good, and looking good. You know, I got to hold up a motorcycle. I want to ride, and you never know. You never know who comes in your path. So, might want to get out there and shake a leg, you know. Here's some music one night. Get into those tight-fitting jeans. Put on that cowboy hat. Man, I'm feeling good, folks. I'm telling you. Life is awesome. Retirement, living on Social Security, supplementing it with my YouTube revenue, and a lot of support I get from my community is just a grand life. You know, people work very hard all their lives, and they achieve much higher status than me. They have way more money, big homes, 2 or 3 homes, Cadillacs, Lexuses, you name it, and still more money than they'll ever spend. God bless you. You know, you deserve it. I have a shell game. I keep moving things around. I'll get rid of this and I'll procure that. And then to get this, I got to blow this out and put it all in there. And I just keep moving things around. And I look back at my life and I look about what I've done and things I've had. And while they were just one at a time, for the most part, it's been a great life. And it's only getting better. And it's at its peak, or it's at its best it's ever been this morning, right now. I feel great. And I'm excited about, of course, the motorcycle and how this has been traveling with it. And it's coming into play as being a real camper, staying at campgrounds on lakes and beautiful. How about that drive yesterday? My daughter and I, we went to Suchess, that windy road. She scared me to death. And then we got to that hike, and all them cars of other people, other like-minded people were like, they know about that place, and they crushed it, and they showed up, and all these cars were in there, and I saw some others with trekking poles. And this hiking thing, it really is good for the spirit. It's not just, good exercise. It's just amazing to be with nature and looking at those trees and the terrain and how it's just unspoiled. It's been the same forever. It'll be the same forevermore. Nobody's going to build something in there. It's just its natural state. And it replenishes, and, good oxygen in there with all those trees. And, it's a wonderful thing hiking. I love it. I got my backpack and I carry my water. Got my Merrell shoes. I've done a little upgrades, since I've been doing this hiking. And yesterday, my daughter and I were talking like, look, this is my 6th or 7th hike. 2 I've repeated over at where I got my name carved. And then I've got, I did Chimney Tops twice because I didn't go all the way to the top on my first hike. And then I went to the top. Remember that? Like Mount Everest up on that rock? That was amazing. And those were the Smoky Mountains. Those were real hikes. Those are real hikes. And I never had my Merrells. I had the, which were fine, the Walmart boots I bought. Way better than, a tennis shoe or a sandal. So you got to have the proper attire. You got to have a backpack. You got to have some water. And you need trekking poles. That'll really help you out a lot. Save your knees and hips and back and everything else. So, all right, that's enough. That's enough morning chat. I can barely contain myself. I got to get the poncho I bought for the hikes that I've never used yet. Throw that on. I knew I'd be dealing with, it's like it's kind of sprinkling out there. It's not a hard rain. Get the crusher backed up to the crasher. Put it on the ball. Get it out of here. And then put it in my new spot. Now, here's the key. You move from one spot to the next. You don't just move it when you want. There's a check-in, there's a check-out. Somebody's in it right now. You got to wait till they go, and then you got to wait till a certain time. Like a hotel. You can only get in, you don't just show up. You can get an early check-in, but there's a certain time. So there's a window that I'm going to be homeless. But I'll have my home with me, and I'll just have to sit in it somewhere, probably at Walmart nearby over here. It's just a short window. And then I'll come back in, and I'll be set for the remainder of the time that I will be in Georgia, God willing. And I hope in the next remainder of time that I'm going to be here, that it's quite a good time too, that I'll be able to bring you and myself the best adventures and content and views and entertainment and comedy and talking and anything else, coffee in the morning, evening chats, fireside chats. We're going to do it all. We're definitely going to do it all. We got to crush it.